The Ghost Army that fooled Hitler. 1944. World War II. The U.S. Army created a secret weapon that saved thousands of lives. But here's the twist. It never fired a single bullet. Because it wasn't real. This is the story of the Ghost Army. The greatest con job in military history. The US Army had a problem. They needed to trick the Germans about where their troops were positioned. So they did something insane. They recruited artists, fashion designers, painters, sound engineers, actors, 1,100 creative minds who'd never held a rifle. Their mission? Make the enemy see armies that didn't exist. They were given inflatable tanks that weighed just 100 pounds but looked real from a distance. Sound equipment that could blast recordings of tank movements and troops marching. Fake radio transmissions, props, costumes, everything. You need to stage the performance of a lifetime. Between 1944 and 1945, the Ghost Army pulled off over 20 battlefield deceptions. Here's how it worked. They'd inflate hundreds of rubber tanks in fields where Germans could see them, set up fake headquarters with antennas. At night, they'd blast recordings of construction. Sounds so loud the enemy could hear it miles away. They'd drive jeeps in circles with headlights onto fake convoy movements, wear different unit patches in local bars, and accidentally leak false information. Their masterpiece? Operation Viersen in March 1945. The Allies were crossing the Rhine River into Germany. The real crossing was at a town called Wesel. But the Ghost Army set up 10 miles south at Viersen. For 2 weeks, they made the Germans think an entire army division was preparing to invade there. German forces repositioned, waiting for an attack that would never come. When the real crossing happened at Wesel, it was barely defended. Thousands of Allied soldiers survived because German guns were aimed at ghosts. But here's the craziest part. These men operated just miles from enemy lines. Real bullets, real artillery. Some of them died setting up fake equipment. And after the war, they couldn't tell anyone what they'd done. For 50 years, the Ghost Army was classified. These heroes went home and stayed silent. Their families thought they'd been clerks. It wasn't until 1996 that the truth came out. In 2024, they finally received the Congressional Gold Medal. Most of them were already gone. An army of artists who saved thousands of lives with creativity instead of weapons. A secret so well kept, the world didn't know for half a century. That's the Ghost Army. If you want more insane historical stories like this, hit subscribe. Drop a comment telling me what story I should cover next. Thanks for watching.